Morning, everybody. Welcome to Church of Hot Sauce. As always, this is Father Pepper Bay coming to you live on Saturday, the January 7th. May the spice be with you and also with you. Today we've got some great products we're going to be reviewing. Some friends of mine I've either bought some or my friends have sent me some stuff, so we're going to be trying those out. Today we've got Pepper Fueled Dreams, Chili Crisp, and some sauces from Creature Sauce Company by Eric Nuge. So that'll be exciting. Got some upcoming news. January 22nd, National Hot Sauce Day. The Hulu special, or series, if you will, is going to be airing. It's a 10-part series. It's going to be airing on Hulu, so please watch. The more we watch, the more likelihood there is that more Pepper content gets made, and obviously we want to support our friends that were in those 10 episodes. There's going to be a lot of familiar faces. If you're even slightly involved in the chili community, you're going to see a lot of people you know. And if you're not, you should definitely watch, because then there's just amazing people that are being featured. So you're going to want to learn more about these people. We've got on April 13th, we've got the Tampa belt match for League of Fire. Super stoked. They should be releasing the poster any day now, and hopefully we'll be talking about that next week a little bit more in depth on who will be competing against moi. It's going to be a fun time. It's a lot of heavy hitters, I'm not going to lie. It's going to be great competition, lots of fun. I can't wait to go out and see my friends. It's going to be good. So, watch out for that. It's been really hard not being like, all these people are going to be there. But League of Fire is going to release the poster, so they get the fun of that, and then I'll PR it more from there. All right. Well, should we get into some sauces? I think so. All right. So, I actually heated up some noodles, because what better way to try some chili crisp than with some nudes? So I've got some noodles. First off, today we're going to be trying this Pepper Fueled Dream. Is it? And it's the chili crisp. If you haven't had this, it is made by Brandon Collins over at Pepper Fueled Dreams. It is amazing, but I'm going to give you a thorough review on it today, just to show that product off a little bit more. It is so delicious. The love and the caring that goes into this specific product is absolutely fantastic. It does. I'm so excited to have this on my breakfast. You got peanuts in there. You got chili flakes. You got onions that he simmers for just hours. The time, the complexity, the flavors, very exciting. So I got some noodles. We're gonna have some noodles this morning on this wonderful Sunday. It's a little windy over here out in Georgia. There's been some weather fronts coming up out here. Nothing wrong with that. It's a little cold outside, which is hoodie weather, and I love hoodie weather. So, I don't know about y'all. We're going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to go ahead and put this on a spoon so you can see the consistency a little bit. It is a beautiful. Oh, it's so nice and chunky. Honestly, the textures are absolutely fantastic. We're going to put a good amount because it's so gosh darn delicious. Mm. So I got some of that on there. I'm going to stir that right in. We're going to review this bad boy. Mm. Okay, so biggest thing with the chili crisp is the quality of oil that gets used. Brandon knows what he's doing. You have to low simmer. Your product still has to have a crunch to it. It's very important. All these different aspects flow together to make a really good chili crisp. I swear, the peanuts are like they're still out of the bag. That's how firm they still are. The onions are fantastic. There's no bitterness. There's no overcooking that's happened. The oil isn't tarnished by a bitterness or by an overcooking whatsoever, which again is very hard to do. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of like just sitting there and watching the product cook. Frequently stirring, all that good stuff. It's so good. This is a 10 out of 10 product. Okay, if you don't know about this chili oil, it's amazing. Hit up Pepper Fueled Dreams. Can't go wrong with a bottle of this stuff. I know that I get very sad when I run out of it. Right now I'm about halfway through this bottle, so I'm gonna have to stretch it a little bit longer. But the flavor is just absolutely stupendous, and I cannot say too much about the texture. The texture, the way the oil envelops, the way the crunch happens with the pepper flakes, with the onions, with the peanuts, it is phenomenal. This is a very, very good product, made with love and made by a very good friend of mine. Appreciate everything that you do, Brandon. And again, Pepper Fueled Dreams. If you aren't following them on Facebook, please go follow them. Very, very good company. He's also got some really cool prints out. He does a lot of artwork. Go check Brandon out himself. He's also on Facebook. You can follow him as well. Brandon Collins. Amazing, amazing stuff. We're going to go roll right into Creature Sauce Co. because there's a teriyaki sauce that I need to try. I've already got noodles out, so might as well, right? So let's go ahead and get a close-up of that. Tengu Teriyaki! Hey-ya! Tengu Teriyaki by Creature Sauce Co. Love the labeling. Love the design of the bottles. It's honestly, everything's around, obviously, crazy creatures, what have yous, and Eric does a great job with the labels and the logos and the presentation of the sauces. So let's try this bad boy out. Get the label off here. Okay. At first smell, there's a sweetness to it, which there should be. It's a teriyaki. So with teriyaki, there should be a soy aspect to it, but along with a sweetness aspect and a nice flavor envelopment that happens with teriyaki. It's a very complex flavor to get. Takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. I'm going to shake this one up first. We're going to try a little bit on the spoon, and then a little bit in the noodles. Oh yeah. You can tell that there's oil in here because of how the droplets sit on top, but they're like microscopic droplets. So like it's a well-made teriyaki. It's very much infused. Mm. Mm. Wow. There's such a sweetness to it. The ingredients on this one are soy sauce, soybeans, brown sugar, sesame oil, habanero peppers, fresh, honey, onions, minced sesame seeds, garlic, cornstarch, onion powder, ginger, garlic powder, and ground ginger. It's a very soft flavor in the best way possible. It's not too overwhelming. Everything goes together. You get flavor after flavor after flavor going. First thing that hits you is that soy, along with that sesame seed flavor, which is, I mean, that's such a great flavor. You don't see enough of it really out on the market in anything really. It's expensive, but it just like what it adds and it brings to the sauce is just oof, 10 times over. Hey Chase, the habanero really isn't there too much, so this is a palatable sauce for somebody that doesn't like, they can't take too much heat. It's there, but it's not like in your face, like, you know, putting you up against the wall, telling you to give you your lunch money or nothing like that. So very well rounded. It's got a sweetness to it, like I said. That brown sugar, which really brings that caramelization that you're looking for in a teriyaki without it being too thick. Like as far as the viscosity of the sauce, it's not too thick to where you got to dump the bottle out. You got to shake it. It's going to give you a nice effect in noodles. On, oh my gosh, can you imagine doing this on like a pork tenderloin or on some ribs, some teriyaki chicken? I'm using this whole bottle for sure. I'm gonna pour a little bit into my noodles here. Oh yeah. Again. Tengu teriyaki! Hiya! Put a little bit of my noodles. What's better than nudes? Nudes with friends. Mmm. That's a very delicious teriyaki sauce. Easily, I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. The complexity of the flavors, the consistency, the quality of product that's used in there, and again, the bite. It's not really in your face. It's a very, very well developed flavor of sauce. Delicious. Next up, we got here succubus. See if I can get that in here a little bit better. Succubus by Creature Sauce Co. Might have just throw some holy water on this before I open it up, since there's a devil lady on it. Alright, let's get into the succubus. Ingredients on this one are water, diced tomatoes, salt, citric acid, calcium chloride, tomato paste, vine ripened fresh tomatoes, and naturally derived citric acids, onions, olive oil, apple cider vinegar, ghost pepper mash, salt, citric acid, lime juice, chili, guajillo pepper, garlic, cumin, chili powder, paprika, cayenne pepper, and dried chilies. So a lot going on this one. I'm very excited to try this sauce. I haven't had this one before at all. Oh, wow. Okay, so right away, when you smell it, there's an automatic, it's very evident that there's tomatoes in there. There's a caramelized rusticness to it as far as the tomato flavor goes. So it's definitely apparent that that's in there. The consistency is pretty delicious. It's not fully pureed, but it's not like a super chunky sauce either, which in my opinion, that's what you're looking for in a sauce. You can definitely smell the cumin a little bit. You can definitely smell the onions. Okay. Tomato. You get the cumin. You get the onion. Then in the back part of the palate, you definitely get that ghost pepper in a really good way. It reminds me of like a really well developed, like a taco sauce, but like a little bit more complex. That's really well done. The way the guajillo mixes with the dried chilies and the ghost pepper, like after the ghost pepper burn kind of dissipates, you get that nice rusticness that you're looking for if you guys have never used or had guajillo peppers before. There's some of those big dried peppers you can get at any Latin, food mart or whatever. But they bring a certain aspect to a flavor that, again, I would call as rustic. It's very good at balancing when you have something that's over sweet or bitterness mixing with sweet or what have you. So that caramelization of the tomato that goes right into that rustiness along with that burn. It's very leveled. It has an arch, and a great crescendo and decrescendo as far as the flavoring is concerned. That's a good sauce. Try a little bit more here. And again, I don't want to be too crude. The tomatoes are not too tomatoey, okay? And what I mean by that is sometimes when you use too much tomato paste, things can get bitter. The flavor can get like kind of a little stale. The tomato flavors are caramelized very, very well, and that's a great sauce right there. Succubus by Creature Sauce Co. I'm gonna give that a solid 8.5 out of 10. That's a quality table sauce. That's what I would call it, is a table sauce. As far as like, your immediate sauces that you have ready to go for every meal, no matter what the usage. That's there. That on some nachos, killing it. Cleanse my palate a little bit here. Right here we got Tropical Zambanero. Love that artwork again. Got that. I don't know if it's hard to see, but you got a hand. You got a hand coming out of the dirt, just like with Creature Sauce Co's logo. What's it? Lobo? Los Lobos. Just like Creature Sauce Co's logo. Very cool artwork. I love the creepiness and the creaturey aspects of the artwork that he does. Now, obviously, Zambonero, you're going to think some kind of fruit, and habanero kind of gives it away a little bit. Let's see what we got here as far as the ingredient list goes. Peaches, apple cider vinegar, onions, olive oil, pineapple, mangoes, water, lime juice, garlic, ginger, salt, and black pepper. So we're going to give it a little Taylor Swift and shake it up. Shake it up. Excuse me. And tropical Zambonero. Oh, wow. Okay. So I thought this was going to be a far more like sweet flavor profile. Wow. It does like I smell the fruit, I smell the mango, but what I'm getting is far more of the savory spices that are involved in that, which is really intriguing. I like, again, something that's more like a chutney, like smell to it, to where it's got like, it's savory, it's sweet, it's a bunch of different things all at once. Complexity. Whenever I eat sauces, complexity is what I'm looking for. The more complex the flavor profile is, that means the more effort went into making a sauce. We tried those Canadian sauces last week, and full of complexity, ridiculously so. This has got to be on par with that. Let's go ahead and show that. Oh yeah, that's nice. Wow, the mango, it's like, it's not overly sweet in your face. It's like it's like almost dulled because of the savory aspect. My mouth is watering because I'm so excited about this one. Okay, I enjoyed that so much, I forgot to talk. We're gonna have to do another one of that one. Okay, again, consistency is great. It's not fully pureed, but it's not like super chunky at the same time either. First thing you get is the mango, but like right away, after you get this slight splash of sweetness, it goes right into a little layer of heat, and then goes right into a savory aspect with all the spices going on. Yum. Like I was saying earlier, it super reminds me of like a chutney. If you haven't had a chutney's like a savory, sweet, kind of like almost like a salsa that you would put on foods. It's more like Indian and like that kind of like region of the world. Wow. You could put this into a curry. You could use this. You could put this in add a little bit of mustard and some olive oil and make a vinaigrette out of this for a salad. This on some pork steaks. My goodness. Roasted potatoes. That could be really interesting. Like maybe if you did some like roasted sweet potatoes and did a medley like that. Yum. This is really good. Eric, you did a great job, bud. Tropical Zambonero. Again, that the peaches is plenty of peaches, no peaches for me. Delicious, bud. Very impressed. That's a solid 8.5 as well. That's almost a 9. That's a really good sauce. Again, complexity, surprisingness in the flavor profile. Bud, that is good. And last but not least for the day, we're going to move on to Eric's signature sauce, Chupacabra. Look at that weird little guy. What's up, Brandon? Look at this weird little. Oh, what is a Chupacabra? He's like a mix between like what the heck is that? And oh my goodness. It's crazy. I love the artwork. I love that logo. Eric uses this a lot in other promotional stuff for his company, and as he should, because it's awesome. This is going to be his Carolina Reaper sauce. We're going to give this bad boy a try here. Carolina Reaper. So it might get the oh, that's hot. Might get that sign off there. Now, whenever I'm having a Reaper sauce, it's a goat eater. Thank you, Brandon. It eats goats. Whenever I see a Reaper sauce, now Reapers became popular a while back. It was maybe like 6-7 years ago. Like Reapers came out, so they got everybody started going, oh, we need to use the hottest pepper. We need to make sauces. Every company started doing that. So there are an abundance of sauces out there with Reaper. Excuse me. Nothing wrong with that, but it definitely starts to bring a like sauces that are made with Reapers are going to be a little bit more scrutinized because there's so many to choose from on the market. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just got to have your game up to where you're making a quality sauce with the Reaper pepper. And if I know Eric, it's going to be a quality sauce, especially since it's his signature sauce. I would call it his signature sauce with the Chupacabra. So I gave it a little Taylor Swift shake up. Now let's see what we got here. Wow. Okay, Reaper right away. Let's see what we got on the ingredients list here. We got tomatoes in juice. Onion puree, red wine vinegar, water, cilantro, Carolina Reaper, pepper puree, garlic puree, lime juice, and then a trivial amount of sugar. I love that that's on there. Okay. Let's see if we can get the red wine vinegar is what I was smelling on top of the Reaper smell. That's very interesting. So we're gonna go ahead and see what the consistency's like. Now, when you get into the upper echelon of hotness of peppers, I feel like the sauces should be a little bit more watery, because that way you're able to add them without it being like, you don't have to add an abundance because it's like chunky, so you like a whole bunch comes out of the bottle or whatnot. So if you're dealing with a hotter pepper and it's a little bit more watery as far as the viscosity is concerned, that's a good thing, because then you can control better how much heat, especially for the normies, how much heat you're adding to your product that you're eating. Yeah, that red wine vinegar, right on it. I've never used red wine vinegar with a Reaper, but just like smell alone on my palate, it really is able to counteract that specific flavor that you get with a Reaper. I don't really know unless you've had a Reaper. I don't really know how else to describe the flavor of a Reaper. It's a sharp rusticness to it. Okay. So the Reaper is not overpowering whatsoever. You get, oh, it's a party in my mouth, my guy. You get a splash of that tomato caramelized sugary flavor to it. And then, I'm going to have another spoonful. That was delicious. The red wine vinegar really stands out. Yeah. You get the cilantro, you get the red wine vinegar, and then at the tail end, it's just a little like, it's like a little Reaper kiss that leaves you wanting more. It's not like where like some Reaper sauces, it's just like heat over flavor, to where you're like, okay, I've had enough of that. Like, that's plenty. You're gonna want to finish this bottle, okay? If I had some tacos sitting right here, this bottle would be gone. Okay, like 100%. And again, it almost looks like it's too watery, but it's not. The consistency is perfect for what the flavor is providing, especially for how it covers your palate. This is a really good sauce, bud. Um, yeah, this is for especially for a Reaper sauce. This is good. This is going to be a solid 9.2 out of 10. This is a great sauce. If you're looking for a well-rounded, um, more in-depth flavor from a Reaper sauce, you're gonna reach for the chupacabra. Okay, you're gonna reach for it, and you're gonna empty that bottle because it's that good. No, it's what no, it's like I said, Eric. It's watery, but it's not it's the perfect viscosity for what it's entailed for. You have some chunk. It's not fully pureed, and I like that. In a good sauce, you don't want it fully pureed, but you don't want it like super chunky. This is the perfect consistency. Especially because like the cilantro isn't fully pureed either, which is great because you're getting the greens and with cilantro, you don't want it to be too fine because you want it to hit your palate in a certain way. That's a great sauce, bud. That is quality. It's made with love. You can tell, and that's a solid 9.2 out of 10. Oh yeah, on some eggs for breakfast, on an omelet. Oh my god. Even on on some home fries, all day. Toss that with some home fries and tell me that you're not gonna have a great day. You can't, because it's delicious. All right, guys. Well, we've tried 5 products today, so now we're gonna get into the pepper sermon a little bit. And the pepper sermon today is gonna be friends. It's gonna be friends. A lot of people will say that online friends aren't really friends, but this world is so crazy. Sometimes, especially with what prices are like now, it's hard to get out there. It's hard to meet people. I feel like people aren't as friendly and open as they used to be, as far as just like going out and shaking somebody's hand and going, "Hey, I'm Pepper Bay." It's hard to find that nowadays. So, especially in the last 3 years since COVID, I've found many people that I've connected with more so over the internet than I have in person, and those people have turned out to be some of my best friends in life. So it's even if you have one friend, you're fortunate to find somebody in this wide, vast world that we live in this microcosm that we call life. To find somebody to connect with on a level that you can hit them up. You can, when you're feeling down or when you are getting your trials and tribulations handed to you a little faster than you think that you can handle. It's an amazing gift to be able to have somebody on your side that you can call and you can count on. And there's plenty of, I highly recommend, especially the spicy community. If you're watching this and you're not part of the spicy community, get involved. If you like flavor, like not to be like Guy Fieri, but if you like Flavor Town, join the spicy community. And even if that's just joining some forums, joining some groups, trying out more products than normal, or just trying out products. There's great people in this community. Some of the kindest, warmest-hearted individuals that I've ever met in my life. And seems like they're always there, only a phone call away. But find your niche. Find your area that, if there's a certain subject that you're passionate about, the internet's a great resource. You can't go wrong with that. Local community events. I just moved to Georgia. We're going on 5 months here, 4.5 months. First thing I did was I started going to anything that was community involved. There was Depot Days. There was a Sasquatch festival. nearby in Westminster, South Carolina. By the way, won biggest Bigfoot award because I got big feet. Um, but started making connections because that's how you meet people. That's how you interact with people. Is you know, and I'm very an anxiety-ridden person. You wouldn't really tell that by how boisterous and energetic that I am when I'm around people. But anxiety definitely gets to me. So, but it's important to break down those barriers in order for somebody else to break down their barriers for you to make a connection. So get out in that community, meet new people, and you're not going to make connections with everybody. That'd be crazy. That'd be mathematically impossible. But connections make connections, which lead to great friendships, and they lead to networking, a whole bunch of different stuff. And you never know who you're going to meet by who you've already met. So my charge this week is going to be to go out, shake some hands, just like you would in service. Shake your hands with your fellow neighbor, meet some people, say hello. You never know what kind of relationship you'll spark. So this has been Pepper Bay, Church of Hot Sauce. I want everybody to have a wonderful and fantastic rest of their Sunday. It's gorgeous out there. Enjoy it. Be blessed because we got today. And count that as a win already. You're already winning today. Keep on winning. You know? Alrighty. Pepper Bay. May the spice be with you and also with you. Have a good day, everybody.